Hey guys, come on downstairs. We are doing a little NBA 2K18 slider set. This is the sliders that I use in my New York Knicks franchise, my league. And guys, there are so many settings in this game. That is part of why the game is awesome, but it can also be overwhelming. So here's quickly my league settings. We're going to that settings screen from left to right. Autosave on, quarter length 12 minutes, simulated quarters 12 minutes, protected players 8, progressive fatigue on, chemistry on, rule changes off. I don't want rules changing on me. If you need to pause it, go ahead and pause it to get your settings the way you would like them. Obviously everybody's different. Trade logic on, trade deadline on, recently signed, restriction on, everything on here except for trade override off. And trade frequency I've set at 60. I'd like to see a few more trades. I might even go a little bit higher than that. So looking through these, making this video, I noticed a few things that I would like to change. Injuries on, obviously career-ending injury frequency I just left at 50. A lot of things I just left at 50, and they felt really realistic to me. Let's go difficulty level, custom. All of the sliders here are at 50. In this particular screen, have to admit, in NBA 2K18, I have not fleshed out the sliders nearly as much as I have in MLB The Show 18. Haven't played this game as much, but I have adjusted a few things as I've seen fit. Contract negotiation difficulty 50, or start at the top there. Draft class quality is 45. Everything else on this page is 50s. A lot of the league settings and stuff I left at 50, left where they were set to begin with. Alright, next screen, the My League automation. Basically, throughout My League automation, I have everything on manual. I like to be in control of everything. Scouting, etc., all of that stuff. I do manual. This roster automation, 100% manual for me. I don't want, it's just not my thing to go into my game and see that some players are gone or cut or who knows what, what the CPU will do. Alright, so here's where some things kind of maybe are changed up from what you have. Game difficulty custom, quarter length 12, game speed 50, user timing, free throw shooting type, real player percentage, CPU free throw camera shake on, shot meter off. I don't love the shot meter. Action replays occasionally. After basket camera cuts often. I like those. They give a good feel to the game. Commentary volume 90, PA volume 100, player chatter 65. Basically the TV broadcast audio presentation I go with. I also orient my screen to look like a TV broadcast. I hate playing the where the basket's at the top of the screen. I hate that. I can't watch people play that way. I can't play that way myself. Alright, let's get into the CPU and user sliders here. This is the CPU sliders. Everything here is 50 except body up sensitivity I've turned down to 45. Kind of like a little more of a flow to my game, less banging. So body up sensitivity now is at the top of the screen, pass speed 50, defense 45 on inside contact and driving contact, the rest 50 down through still success for the CPU. So, I mean, I really like the feel of this game. I have not changed tons. And, I mean, everybody plays the game differently, so take all my settings with a grain of salt that way. Attributes, everything 50 here except for on-ball defense I've turned down to 40. I still feel like that gives the CPU enough leverage to play defense. I'm not just blowing by them all the time. Still have to use screens and stuff like that, but it's a little bit more realistic looking. Movement wise, to have on-ball defense turned down just a little bit for the CPU. Below on-ball difference is stealing at 45. Defensive awareness is 45. Everything else is 50 here. Tendencies is the next section that will start. Inside shots at 50. Now, I have to admit I'm not the best NBA 2K18 player. Some of you are probably going to just torch these settings and they won't be realistic for you. But they are for me. And I've played NBA 2K18 for years and years. I mean, like over a decade. So it's hard for me to judge how good I am compared to other people. Next screen, fouls. Go with 60 charge frequency, 70 blocking, 70 reaching, 65 shooting, 60 loose ball foul frequency. And it seems to be pretty realistic for me. Movement. This has changed up a little bit. 70 speed with the ball, maximum 30 minimum. Acceleration maximum 67, minimum 30. 70 and 30 again, speed without the ball. And now let's move on to our user settings here in the CPU user sliders. Everything on this first set is 50s except for ball security, 30. I didn't feel like I was turning the ball over as much as an NBA team should be. So I have turned ball security down for the user. All 50s on this second one on defense. Help defense strength. I think I did have help defense strength turned up at one point, but then I realized that the Knicks, as I currently have them constructed, we're not a very good defensive team, so I felt like I needed to turn it back down. So everything 50 on this set. On to attributes now. On-ball defense 40, again, allows a little bit more freedom of movement, which I like. Stealing 45. The rest I just left at 50. So stealing again is at the top of the screen. That was at 45. Blocking 45. I may even turn blocking down just a little bit, maybe to 40. For me defensively. Defensive consistency I turned up to 60. And then we move down to tendencies, and all of those are 50 across the board on the tendencies. Of course, I mean, playing the game, I determine how many three-point shots I take, how many mid-range shots, close shots, all of that kind of stuff, whether I attack the basket or not. So I just leave, I mean, tendencies don't really matter much for me because I play, you know, every minute of every game. Fouls, again, charging 60, blocking 70, reaching foul 70, shooting foul 65, loose ball foul 60, movement again 70-30, 67-30, 70-30, 67-30. And now let's move on to my coach settings. Adaptive coaching engine on. I don't know even what that means. Timeouts manual, substitutions manual, user plays only, light play vision, and then controller settings. I always do the stick camera relative. That's basically the main point to get across on that page. Skip pass enabled, icon passing, gotta have icon passing. That's the only way to play the game. Icon passing. directional passing is just frustration. So there you have it. You could pause what you needed to, but again, I don't play this game to try to prove how good I am. I just try to challenge myself and try to make it realistic, and these settings have worked for me to this point. So feel free, obviously, to adjust them as you want. I'm sure I'll get comments like you suck at this game and stuff like that, and that's fine. I do. But those are the settings for me, and feel free to use them. Feel free to tweak them. Feel free to leave comments on how you did change them and what you think works better for people. So anyway, that's that. That's my user settings on my New York Knicks franchise.